Hi, welcome to Big Smith News Watch. My name is Leroy Smith, and today we will be doing an interview with a young lady who has finally decided to come forward and speak about abuse which she has been receiving over the years, more than 10 years, by the hands of her father. For obvious reasons, her identity will not be made known, but we will bring her story to you now, including the manner in which the police, the Guyana Police Force, and the ranks of the Kitty Police Station, based on our information, has handled the initial stages of this investigation and the reports which were made in relation to the abuse that this young woman has been subjected to by her father, who is also a very popular businessman in this country. Tell us what has been happening in your life for the last few years.
Honestly, for the past few years, I have been abused physically, verbally, emotionally, even mentally. It has impacted me for such a long time, but I have never found myself being conditioned into believing it's the way of life, that it's okay, that it's right for anyone to be hit in that manner. It was definitely not okay with me. I wasn't the only one being abused in my household. My father is a very powerful man, seems to hold a great amount of power. He likes to be in control of most things in his life, including his kids, his wife, whoever is around him. The abuse is ongoing. You don't need to specifically do something terribly bad for him to react the way he reacts. It can be very simple. Prior to this case, the last time he did hit me, it was a conversation actually over the phone. You know, he was telling me to move out because we were having arguments, and this is the first time he was actually telling me to move out. Knowing who he is, I knew that he initially wanted to hear me beg and plead to stay in his house, but I didn't. I was very upset, and I was like, okay, I'm going to move out. And this was on the phone when he called me, and he got so upset that I said, okay, I'm going to move out. I'm going to move out of your house. He started yelling at me, calling me names, saying that he's going to come down here and shoot me. I was at his business at this time. He said he's going to put me in the hospital. I cut the phone off. I immediately called a friend that was unavailable at the time. So I called a taxi, and my father got there before the taxi did. My brother was there. I begged him to come inside with me because I was very scared, knowing what my father is capable of and how much abuse I've endured throughout the years. He came in. He asked me to sit. He started asking questions like, who have you been following? Who have you been listening to? Who do you think you are to tell me that you're moving out of my house? I was like, I haven't been following anyone, but you told me to move out of your house. He started calling me names, terrible, terrible names.
What are some of the names he would call you?
He started to call me a whore, a slut, a bitch, saying that I'm worthless, I'm useless, I'm not a good person. He tried to make me feel like such a bad person and justify the things that he was telling me to make me feel even worse. But to myself, over the past years, I had good people by my side. My friends were very close to me, and I would always confide in them because I couldn't speak to my family. I couldn't speak up. I didn't have a voice in my home because my father felt so powerful. It was his way or absolutely no way. Even multiple times we've tried to talk things out, we tried to resolve things. It only ended up with him abusing me more. So I had to confide into close friends of mine, which I think that helped so much to make me realize that this wasn't okay. Even sometimes when I felt maybe I deserved it, for some reason I would just feel that way. But they made it clear, like, no, you don't deserve this. This isn't okay. This isn't right. I wanted to leave such a long time ago, but it was very difficult for me to leave. Knowing the connections that my father has in the country, knowing the person that he is, knowing how much influence he has over so many people in high places in the country, Ghana being so small, and living with him, I'm aware of those connections. I'm very much aware of those connections. So it was very hard to just up and leave without figuring things out. But it got so worse the last time. And when this happened, he didn't even realize he was doing it in the presence of his footage, his store footage. He did not realize that, but I did. After he began to hit me, he was just hitting me, kicking me. My brother was there. He managed to stop him. He quoted so many things and trying to make me feel like the bad person, trying to hit me, and then telling me that I'm crazy, that I have negative thoughts and I need to be a better person.
All right, so we'll take a pause and we'll show you a snippet of what took place less than a week ago, or just about a week ago, where this businessman assaulted. We're not even going to speak much. We're going to show you a video of what this young lady is talking about, exactly what took place, and then we'll continue speaking with her. So we've just looked at this video. We've just shown this video
Right.
to the world.
Okay.
So persons now will have a better understanding
Yeah.
of what you're talking about. But I need to ask you a question. Why only now are videos surfacing? Why only now are you coming forward?
Okay, first of all, I've never had the opportunity to even get a video of this abuse. Like never. It was never on video. When my father would hit me, hit anyone, he wouldn't do it in front of videos. Like he would take you to his office, somewhere that does not have a camera. But I don't know if it was adrenaline that was running through him when we spoke on the phone. He just rushed down there. He got to his business within 2 minutes and started hitting me. He was so angry. So there was never a footage. And you couldn't be living in his house and then go to the law for him. Like I said, he has a lot of connections. It would just end really badly. And I have so much fear about that happening. When I realized I had the video and I confided into some people and they were like, you know, you need to leave. The thing is, honestly, when he hits me, I try to get rid of this as much as possible. I would just cry it out, go to sleep, like wake up and distract myself with work as much as possible because I don't want to think of it. Now, I didn't know the video was that bad. Like, I don't know why I didn't realize it was that bad. Watching it, the minute I went to save the video, when I watched it, I honestly couldn't. I could not watch the video. I didn't realize it was that bad. And I sent it to one of my closest friends and she immediately started breaking down like, you know, this needs to stop. Like, you need to get out. However, I felt the exact same way and I knew I had a video which would help me a lot because it's not a word of mouth. It's not me saying I've been beaten badly. It's not me saying that I've been assaulted without proof. I have actual proof of footage. So upon that happening, Saturday I was unable to leave. When he assaulted me on Friday, I had also taken my vaccine then. I was very weak on Saturday. I was unable to work, so I was home. However, they locked me in the house. There was no way out of the house. Sunday when I saw an opening, my father and mother had to leave to do some stuff. I was left home with my 2 younger siblings and I said, you know what, I unplugged the cameras immediately. I called a friend because I know I needed to do this as hard as it was because, I mean, at the end of the day, I love my family, but abuse is never okay. And like, I want everyone to know abuse is never okay, because I'm certain there's so many women that has been abiding with this, feeling terrible, maybe thinking they deserve it, but they don't. They really don't deserve it. And it's been hard for me to actually accept this, because it's my family, it's my entire family. But I know that it's not okay, it's not right, you shouldn't be enduring this, and for so many years now. And I'm honestly thankful that I have this footage to show the entire world. It's very hard to come out to show people what I've been through, but I think others need to see it. Like, I need other women to see this enough to speak up and to know it's not okay and they're not alone. Now, I immediately called my friends on Sunday. They picked me up. I blocked my entire family and took off my location because I know they were going to be looking for me. I had to leave Tongue because I was very scared to go to the police stations, knowing he has so many connections in Tongue. But I called 914 and I made a report. Hours later, I heard that he made a missing persons report claiming I left the house, but he does not know why. Like I said, I unplugged the security cameras, so there was no evidence of me leaving the house or how I left, whatever. And I left Tongue that day. I talked to some people, like, social workers, the police ministry. I made a report on Monday, written statement, absolutely everything. And they summoned him. I went to the magistrate court and absolutely everything, did whatever they asked me to do, in this case, to get it dealt with the proper way by the law. And Kitty Police Station, I'm so sorry to say, but they were very reluctant in the matter.
Tell me exactly how they handled this matter.
I was very surprised by the way they handled the matter, because at the end of the day, it's a police station. You should feel safe enough to go to them for any sort of help and know that they will help you regardless of what the situation is. But upon my knowledge of being there at the moment, at first I thought they were going to be helpful because they took my statements. I made a full report. That was done. They asked me what I wanted to do next. I requested a restraining order, which I got permission to do as well. They did that. They signed off on it, absolutely everything, and they told me they were going to take me to take the restraining order to him. So we went to his business place. The cops were told that he isn't there, but his vehicles were there, and knowing my father, he wouldn't accept a summons from absolutely anyone. I already knew that. So when we got back into the vehicle, they said that he's not there. I said, can't we leave it? They said no. They said, we need to give it to him directly. So that's what I thought. I thought that was the right thing to do. Okay, I need to keep coming back. As they told me, I need to come back. They were actually laughing because they were like, it's so crazy. He's not accepting this, but we can't do anything. You need to keep coming back and trying.
And that is the police telling you this?
Yeah, that is the station sergeant telling me this. Mm-hmm. And the police told me the exact same thing. The second
you have the names of those police?
I do.
What are the names of those police? Policemen and women, whoever.
The station sergeant, his name was... I think I told this before the interview. I can't remember his full name. I have it in my phone. We will do a written statement of that. I can't remember his name right now, but they were laughing about it. They were like, it's so crazy. Not laughing directly to my face, but you can tell. You can just read their body language towards the entire situation and tell like it was not serious to them. And to my surprise, 2 of the officers knew who my father were. On their way going there, they quoted like, oh, it's your father, is your brother. And I was like, yeah. I was like, do you know where we need to go? They were like, yeah, I know where you need to go. So automatically I didn't feel that safe anymore. I did not feel safe. That's why I didn't want to go to the police stations in Tongue in the first place, because my father knows them very well. When I got back to the station the next day, from confidential sources I heard my father quoting, if I show up at the police station and he's there, he's going to beat me mercilessly and nobody can say or do anything about it. I got so scared. I started like getting protection. I was, even where I'm staying, no one knows. Whoever is by my side, no one knows, because I'm in so much fear of him doing me something or anybody else that's helping me in this situation. I was in fear. I did not go the next day. I could not go to serve him again. Now, when I contacted my lawyer, my attorney, we had a court session along with the magistrate. Now, upon her seeing the video, she was very shook. She was like, you're so petite, you're so tiny, are you okay? My lawyer's voice broke when she was talking to the magistrate. Upon seeing the video, she was like, why isn't this man arrested? Why? And I told her I've been to Kitty Police Station. They had me back and forth. And she was like, but you can leave the order. You can leave the court order right there. He doesn't need to accept it. It's on his residence. And I was like, I did not know that. I was very much unaware of that because I've been told you need to hand it to the person directly. So, however, she made me go straight to the court, collect that, and she sent an officer with a couple officers actually, and she told me to go. I don't need to be seen. I just need to stay in there. And the officer went with me. My father wasn't there. It was just my siblings. They did not want to collect the order. I'm assuming my father requested them not to. Prior to this day, I even heard my father's lawyer quoted, if any police officers come there to hand you anything, tell him to get out. Don't accept anything. You're not obligated to accept anything, and I will defend you on that matter. He was like, chase them out. That's what I heard. So I knew my father wasn't going to collect anything. My brother didn't even actually want to collect it. I was present there. They didn't see me. And they refused to, but the officer read the laws, read the paper down. I saw that. I even have a footage of them resting the paper down. And my brother started videoing the cop. Anyways, he got in the vehicle and we left. After that, I was running around doing medical, going to the CID to produce my evidence. When I got back to the station, they told me my father has been arrested. I had no idea that he was even going to be arrested. Like I said, I know this is a very severe matter, but I did not realize it's this bad. Like until I started seeing everybody coming out and helping me and talking about this. This when I realized that was when I just realized it was so bad. It got to me when I started seeing everything, and everybody said this wasn't normal. Like I'm a bit accustomed to this happening so much that I feel like it's not as bad as everyone saw it was. But being out of my home for almost 2 weeks now, my mental health is so much better.
I asked you a question before we came on camera. Would you allow me to ask that question again? When I saw that video and the manner in which you were abused, I asked you if you were ever sexually molested or abused by your father, and you said no.
Correct.
Then what do you believe? Why does he has this level of passion towards you?
Yeah, he's so much into my personal life. It's very weird. It's not normal. I thought it was normal, but it's not normal. Me realizing now it's not normal. My father has never sexually assaulted me, sexually abused me. Absolutely not. Nothing of that sort. But he would mention something to me. He would bring in my biological mom. Show things at me to say like, you're just like your mom. You look like your mom. Your personality is your mom. You're everything of your mom. I brought you away from there and you're still showing me you're just like your mother. And he would call us names, basically. And I think he has so much hatred towards my mother, and he sees me looking just like her because he tells me I cannot forget that I look like my mom because he brings it up so often. He would tell me, you look just like your mom, you're just like your mom. Like he has so much hate towards her. He would project it onto me. That too is why I think he's so much into my personal life, because he feels he needs to control every single thing that I do, everything around me. My entire life, he needs to control it, no matter what my age is. And I abided by so many things because I have so much respect for my father, along with my entire family.
You still have that respect?
I don't. I do not have that respect. I don't anymore. It's impossible for me to even see him as my father now, because it's so much that he's been doing to me. And I didn't realize how bad it is, like I said, until I saw the video, until we started discussing it, until I started to talk out about it. Then I saw how bad it was. It's not okay. It's never okay.
What was running through your mind at the moment, and at that present moment that you were receiving these kicks and slaps and being pushed into the wall and onto the floor? What exactly was running through your mind?
Honestly, I was scared. I was so terrified. It happens all of a sudden, and it's like you don't have time to think of everything that's been happening. You just want it to stop. You just want to say anything for him to stop. You just want to beg him to stop. And I did. I was saying that I'm sorry. I wanted this to stop so bad that when he asked me to get up and he grabbed me by my hair and put me on a stool to sit and talk, I started apologizing with him. I started pleading with him because at this point I could have said anything just to make him stop. I wanted to make the situation better, so I could have just got this over with and left.
I'm looking at your affidavit here.
Right.
And you said at point 15, I was no longer able to respond to the questions anymore in fear of further upsetting him, but
Yeah.
instead he slapped me harder and pushed me down to the floor. In the video, I saw what appears to be a firearm. Is he a licensed
Yes,
firearm
he
holder?
is a legal firearm holder. He's licensed.
Do you know if he still has how many weapons he has based on your knowledge?
About 3, based upon my knowledge. Like I said, he is a licensed firearm holder. He does not have illegal weapons to my knowledge, but I was very surprised to hear people still seeing him walking around with a firearm in his waist, knowing of the situation, you know, knowing how bad it is. I thought the station, even Brickdam station where he was resided at, when he got arrested, would have kept that firearm based upon the case, because they saw my statements. They saw that I quoted, "He will shoot me. He said he's coming to shoot me." So I even got more scared upon seeing that and hearing that he's still in possession of his firearm. Like, why? Why should he be walking freely, making threats, saying that he would hurt me, he would injure me, he doesn't care? And this has escalated so quickly, and it has gone by so far. And the worst part of it all, he doesn't see that he's done anything wrong. He's not sorry. There's no guilt. He feels what he did is right.
Your affidavit also speaks of persons reaching out on his behalf, and so let's talk
Correct.
about the persons that are trying to provide the course of justice now.
Yeah, my brother was actually trying to reach out to some of my friends, but they had no knowledge on what's going on. But you know, when they got to me, they were saying he's trying to reach out, asking me, pleading with me to drop the case because it's embarrassing him and his father. It's an embarrassment.
So they only care about the embarrassment.
Correct. They didn't think how embarrassing and how much this got to me, to be showing my body filled with so many marks, pictures, videos of what has been taking place for so long. Because this was very hard for me to do. I've never opened up about this with anyone other than my close friends, much less strangers. And I'm not a person to talk out about these things that I'm dealing with, because I'm not here for sympathy. Honestly, I'm not. I just want everyone to be aware of how bad the situation is, and to even motivate anyone else that's going through this, that they're not alone. They can speak up. There are people here to help them, because I have been receiving so much help from the people that I've been going to and seeking legally. That's why this all escalated so quickly, and I was so shocked. I was so surprised. I am grateful. I didn't expect this was going to happen the way it did. I was very worried upon leaving, because even while leaving, he drained my entire accounts and everything in order to control me into coming back. That's another form of control. He's a narcissist. He is a manipulator. He feels like he's in control. So clearing my entire bank account was a way to get me back. But that didn't happen. He denied doing that, and he even withheld like my passports and lied to the magistrate, saying he doesn't have it. But I have proof of messages with someone telling me, yeah, they have it, and where they kept it. Mm-hmm. I have all that, and he's still lying. I mean, he pled not guilty in the court to both charges, which I knew he was gonna do. I quoted, he's gonna plead not guilty. He was released on $400,000 bail, I think. And up to this day, my father isn't sorry. He thinks whatever he's doing is right, and he managed to brainwash my entire family against me, including my siblings.
How old are the other siblings?
My brother's 29. That's my oldest brother, and I have 2 younger siblings that currently lives with my parents as well. 18 and 19.
You call your stepmom your mom?
Correct.
Okay. She's been loving to you and so on?
Yeah, she has. Like I said, we all deal with the same thing in the home, so it's very hard for anyone to come out and speak out about those things.
She's abused also?
Yes. I don't know if I'm privileged to say that. I don't know if I'm privileged to say that, because that's not my story to tell. But like I said, everybody in my household has been abused. That's why I was very surprised upon my siblings taking his side. But then I know they look for him, they look at him for validation. He is the bread holder in the family. He provides everything for them. So maybe that's also why. That's another reason why. Because being honest, if I was still in the house, I would have been in too much fear to speak out. And leaving has been very hard for me because I'm normally always with my family. That's how it's always been. So being alone has been hard for me, but I felt so much better that I wasn't constantly living in fear every day of saying something wrong and being assaulted, or not saying enough, or doing something wrong, or not doing enough, because it was an everyday fear.
How are you concerned about your younger siblings' presence in the home still?
Yes, I really am, because I have a younger brother that's not too well. He's actually been seeing a therapist, still seeing a therapist right now. My sister is 19, she's still very young. I actually protected her a lot, so she hasn't dealt with that severe abuse. Like he didn't get to hit her the way he hits me, because I tried to protect her at all costs, being my younger siblings, even my younger brother, but he's faced it as well as my older brother.
You have any message you want to send to your family and especially your siblings right now?
Honestly, there was so much I wanted to say in the past few days. I don't blame my siblings for taking my father's side. To my knowledge, they have no choice. But deep down, I know that they know what's right, they know what's wrong. As much as they're not going to say it, they know that my father isn't right. They know that 100%, even though they can't say it. Maybe they're going to see me as a bad person because I upped and left, not knowing they're not in my position, so they don't know how bad I was dealing with it and how much it got to me. I was very suicidal. I was very, very severely depressed. And I needed to get out at all costs. And I don't know if they can understand that now, but I'm hoping in years to come they will. And I don't blame them for not being on my side. Like, I love them with my entire heart, and they do mean the most to me. And that's honestly never going to change for any of my siblings. The love that I have for them is never going to change no matter what they do. Because I know they're still very young and they're living with an abuser. They seek his validation. He provides absolutely everything. They don't have a life of their own. So it's very hard to speak out about that. And they live with him. So that's completely understandable.
Any advice for the system in this country that is meant to protect?
I think they need to be doing a better job. I'm not saying that I haven't been getting the help that I need. I have. Trust me, I have. Mostly it's been private, so I cannot speak out on where I've been getting those help, but it has been private. But when it comes to the police station and the law, especially when they're businessmen in the country with so much power, so much privilege, I think they need to look into that. Because like I said, my father is very powerful. He's what you call power drunk. And I'm in fear that my older brother as well is that he has that exact mentality. And I don't know if he's brainwashed or so conditioned to believing that it's okay, but it's not okay. And I think the system, they need to be doing a better job, because most of the things aren't okay. Like what I faced at the police station, I went there in hopes of them actually helping me, because this could have been dealt with faster than I could have had a sooner court date too. He could have been arrested on the Tuesday. He was arrested till on the Thursday, until I saw my lawyer and the magistrate. That's when they helped me. Kitty Police Station was not of much help, and I've also heard from other people too. It's not of much help. I actually saw Mick Smith posted this last night about Kitty Police Station, and the comments, everybody was agreeing with Kitty Police Station. They were not of much help at all. They were very reluctant in the matter, and I've heard this so many times. That's why I was kind of scared of going to Kitty Police Station too. But where this happened was the closest to the police station, so I really didn't have any choice. But when it comes to the stations and the officers, and in connection with businessmen that have a lot of clout, power, and money, the system needs to look into it. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but they really do need to look into it, because if I didn't go for further help, like with my lawyer, or have seen a magistrate, my father would have never been arrested. I would have probably already got caught by now, probably lured back into my house, and it would have been worse. if that didn't happen. So I really think the system needs to change.
Okay. So anything else you want to say? Anything to the women, boys, and girls?
Honestly, to everyone, abuse is never okay, no matter who it's coming from. Another thing I didn't say, upon showing that video to whoever it was that was helping me in the law, the first thing I said it was my father, but they didn't hear that. They corrected me, is that your fiance? Is that your spouse? I said, no, that's my father. Like, that's your biological father? And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, just to say that minute that you saw is what I endure for hours. But luckily, I begged my brother to stop him. I begged my brother to be there. So it wouldn't go on, because I wouldn't have been here today. I would have probably been in the hospital. I'm so certain of. So I'm thankful that I have the video, and my brother did help me, because if he wasn't there, I don't know what's going to happen. But like I said, he's on my father's side now. When he heard that the police were involved and my father got arrested. But even to that, I don't blame my siblings. They're doing what they think is right, because they're living in a household with an abuser, a known abuser, and that's not okay. Deep down, I know they know it's not okay. Maybe they're gonna speak up, if not now, eventually, when they can, when they feel that privilege to do so. But for anyone, abuse is never okay. Coming out and speaking about this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, other than enduring that assault for so many years. I didn't think I was even strong enough or brave enough to do something like this. But the team that I have that's backing me, honestly, like, they're amazing. And I love them so much. I know they're gonna watch this. And I'm so grateful for all of them and their help. Like, I'm so thankful for everyone that's been helping me. Like, all of my close friends. I didn't think that I was gonna get this much help. Like, this is all still so surprising to me. But I am grateful, I am thankful, and abuse is never okay. And I can tell the women out there, if they do decide to speak up about this, they're gonna get the help they need. They will. Like I said, I went so far getting help from the law in different places, and they were all helpful. The only persons that wasn't helpful was Kitty Police Station. The police stations are not helpful. They're very reluctant. They don't care that much. But everyone else, when it comes to the law, whether it's the ministry, whether it's the court, whether it's the magistrate, absolutely everyone was on my side. They helped me so much. I can't even believe that happened. So I know a lot of women out there feel like they wouldn't get the help they need, or they're just in fear of what can possibly happen if their abuser does find out or does find them, but they can be protected. I'm speaking about this because I am being protected right now. And I didn't think that this could have happened, but it did happen. So if anyone feels scared to speak out, any women whatsoever, even if you're a child and you're being abused by your parents, I know this isn't something common in Guyana. I've heard from everyone that they've never seen a case like this in Guyana. They have not. Everybody keep thinking this is my spouse, this is my fiance, but no, this is my biological father. But you can get the help you need. There are people that are willing to help, willing to go the extra mile, and people that are so against this that will help you. So you shouldn't be that scared to speak out. Even if you are, you should still do it. Just get the courage enough to do it, because you're going to be in a better place. That's really all that I have to say.
And remember, you could call 914 if you're 914.
Yeah, I called there and they helped me. They were very helpful.
If you're in a situation of abuse or in some sort of distress situation, you could call 914. The professional help is expected to be afforded to you. There is a new commissioner of police in place. He's made certain pronouncements with respect to the manner in which the police ought to be operating going forward. So I'm quite certain that when he sees this video,
Right,
also, it will cause some amount of action to be taken.
I really do hope so.
So this has been an interview with a 25-year-old young lady who has been enduring abuse for more than 10 years by her biological father. She's finally decided to come forward. She's also lamented the reluctance of the police at the Kitty Police Station to act professionally, proactively, and in accordance with the laws and SOPs that speaks to how you deal with certain matters, including domestic violence and violence in a whole. So thank you very much for watching.